So welcome to Spectre Performance. So we're in Southern California for everybody who doesn't live in California. And this is our headquarters.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to come down here. Amir's been on the show a couple times already. You brought down the El Camino that you had, and you brought down the
mid-engined El Camino.
Mid-engined El Camino and the Streamliner.
The Streamliner, which was a lot of fun getting on and off the trailer with your crew.
Actually, I remember you left, and then we hung out for about an hour and a half getting that car on a trailer.
And helped the poor guy, because he looked like he was
But I left.
You left. You're like, oh, guys, good luck putting that back on the trailer.
Yep.
Red Lobster, something like that? Big date?
It was...
just anything not to push that car on the trailer.
It blew. Let's say that it blew.
Sorry.
But then again, it was definitely worth it, because it was a fantastic car to have on the show. Turbocharged Cadillac, 434,
415 miles an hour.
415 miles an hour. 415 on gasoline. 484 cubic inch.
Something like that.
Twin turbo.
Yeah, I'm peeling the onion here, but I'm letting him do it.
Yeah, no,
Very cool car. So.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump in and take a look at the works here at Spectre.
Here we are. Come on in.
We're already here.
And then this is sort of sales and marketing, and it's kind of a mess, but it's always a mess.
Well, there's sales and marketing.
This is my desk here.
This is sales. I don't hear anybody on the phone.
And my
Close
desk.
some deals.
Come on, guys, sell.
We're sales. We're sales. Yeah,
there they
are, guys. Make a sale.
Yeah, and put it on Amir's tab.
See, now it got loud. Now they're all working.
Yeah, there we go. That's it. Buy high, sell low. Buy high, sell low.
There's ordering pizza.
Now look at all the excitement. All the R&D stuff happens in here. Office stuff, all the computer stuff, and the design and
this
everything.
This is the top secret stuff over here?
There is some top secret stuff. There's some really cool little equipment and machines here. And this is a brand new airbox, and it's a Ford, and it's obviously a brand new vehicle because we couldn't get one in a junkyard. And it's got, a filter that comes with it like this. And we've already printed up this. We do this with I'll show you our parts printer. We make a mock-up, and then he's doing the design work right there on the computer. And I don't really.
Kind of
and that's just for the.
You wash your hands of it at this point.
This is just for a drop-in.
Just a drop-in replacement
right.
filters,
right.
And then you guys go through another R&D process for your cold air intakes. Or
correct. That we'll see that out back. It takes a little more space, but
how many new products do you guys usually release a year? It seems like there's a handful
this
of new
year
cars.
we're close to 1,000.
1,000 products.
And some of them are just different colors of the same thing, but still, it's a lot of part numbers.
A lot of part numbers of support.
Yeah.
How long does the average age of your products run? Like, these cars are getting older, and do you discontinue them, or do you
8 to 12 years.
Wow. So you end up with a lot of parts.
Yeah, you end up accumulating more parts than you get rid of. Because there's always somebody with an old car that wants that one. So
just one guy.
That. Yeah, we don't discontinue that many. You've got some people that just want a drop-in filter, and then you've got other people that want a cold air intake. And we make cold air intakes for older muscle cars, and they don't really have an option or a choice there. They either have hot air or cold air. At least with a new car, you're getting cold air. You're just not getting much of it. You can get more of it, but it's not. The new cars pretty much pull from the fenders. They don't pull from the engine compartment.
It's not stylized as your cars.
like this car right here.
It's a truck?
I'm guessing it's a Ford of some sort, and it looks from the size of it, this looks like a Ford truck. So this is what we start with, and this is your air goes in here, but it comes from here, so it tells me that this is pulling it from the front fender.
Yeah.
Right. So on the modern cars, you're not really getting the cold air benefit as much as on an older car. Old car, you get huge benefits from that.
And I know you've released a bunch of, like you were saying, some of the older muscle car intakes. You have direct fit ones, and you have modular ones that I think that I saw that were kind of neat.
You can build your own, because we're not. I know it's a shock. We're not going to make them for DeSoto. We had a meeting. I know. These are all different air boxes from different vehicles that we have here, and we keep them so that you can always test and verify and do on study checks and whatever. I don't know, whatever we do. Here's where we have two of the coolest machines that we own. These are really cool. This one here is a parts printer, and what it does, it makes stuff. If you can imagine anything in 3D, this thing will make it. And the way it does it, it's a printer. So you feed in coils of plastic that come in a cartridge like this. It's pretty cool. It's got a computer chip and everything, but what this has is plastic wire.
It just keeps dipping and
printing? It fits it in there. Yeah, and it's like a dot matrix printer. Like instead of putting a drop of ink, it puts a drop of plastic. But it does it, pretty quick, and there's a lot of little drops, and it'll build up, a thing like this big overnight. We modeled something up and said, will this work? I don't know. Let's see. Let's print one. Come back the next morning. We've got one. We can test fit it on a car. We can verify. We can do modeling on it.
How durable is the plastic that comes out of it?
We build intakes out of it.
So it's not flimsy at all then?
Yeah. And then this is our flow bench. This is
we got one of those, man.
Flow 1020.
Yeah,
everybody has one.
Well, ours was made out of an old Kodak printer box and a vacuum cleaner, but similar.
Yeah.
Similar.
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah,
the video on
that was our
That
test.
was very good. This is a little more sophisticated, not much, but a little more.
Ours is pretty accurate, though.
Pretty detailed. We've got all these little adapters for it, and we build all sorts of contraptions and boxes to test different airflows on filters and on intakes. So one of the things we do when we bring in a car, if it has an existing intake system,
you drop it
first
on.
thing we do, we put it on here and we flow it.
Benchmark your numbers and go.
See what it does. You know, how restrictive is it? How well does it flow? And then we test it with its filter. Then we put our filter in on the existing one and test that. Then we build an intake system and come back over here and verify.
And your numbers always look good.
If we can't flow twice with the stock one flows, then we're not really going to gain any benefit for the vehicle. It varies from car to car, from model to model, and from year to year. You know, Chrysler's done some changes from 2005 till 2011 on their Hemis. You know, the 2005s were terrible compared to the 09s and 10s. They made improvements.
Well, they bought your box and then reverse engineered that box, and then that's now production.
That's why we had that sale that year. Yeah. That's who it went to. It's some Dodge engineer. I couldn't figure it out. No, they know what they're doing. I mean, there's no doubt they know what they're doing, but they have to deal with compromises and noise issues and packaging issues, and so we eliminate some of those compromises, or we force the consumer to put up with a compromise, but they get performance. So it's a trade-off. So anyway, this thing gets used a lot. Every day this thing.
Every house should have one, is what you're saying.
At least one.
Yeah.
We have 2 parts to our warehouse. Everything on this side over here is case pack, right? So there's no broken case packs. It's all neat.
Master distributors get this stuff.
And then on this side, this is a miniature duplicate of this side, except it's all case packs that are open, so we can sell one at a time.
So when that dude calls up, hey, I broke the clip on my Dodge air filter, clamp, hold down, you go, oh, I got one.
Most of our customers have an ability to see our inventory live. So when you walk into a store, in many cases, they can check on something and say, let me see. They don't have it, but they can check our inventory and see if we have it. And if we do, the guy can say, I've got it. You want it tomorrow? You want a 3-day? What do you want? And the guy says, I'll take it tomorrow. 30 minutes later, it's on the truck. So that's kind of how we do it. We don't really ship direct. We're not really set up to deal with individual orders. We wouldn't be very good at it. All the boxes are modular size, because I'm into modular. I'm into neat and clean. So if you look at that size and this size and this size, they're all the same. And this size is unique because it fits a pallet.
Exactly.
So you line 3 and 3 and it fits a pallet. So we make it in this height. We make the boxes in this height. We make them in 3 heights. So you can build a cube, and so you can see all of our pallets over there. They're nice, neat, and square. So we came up with what we call UPC it. UPCSEEIT. UPC it. So in this particular case over here, let's see, these don't have it. This has like an omega sign or some sort of a
Sigma.
thing.
I think
Sigma. Is that Sigma?
I think so.
And then over here we have light bulb. See the light bulb?
So it's kind of
and
like
over there, look at the Triceratops. See over there's Triceratops.
So it's like Garanimals, like like when you wake up in the morning, you can say light bulb and electrical
corn.
outlet.
See, there's corn.
Wow.
It goes on and on. There's hundreds of symbols. Here's what we found out. When you have to read a number,
you're going to mess it up.
You have to read it. You can't just look at a number and see it. You actually look at the numerals, and then to tell the difference between that and another number gets confusing. And if you start doing that all day long, your brain gets scrambled, especially if you've been out last night drinking heavily and taking drugs, which I think our employees, I don't know, I'm not saying looking around, maybe once in a while to celebrate something, so then they come to work, they can't read a number, but they can see corn. And
when you focus corn, enough.
You don't have to look at that and say corn. C-O-R-N, corn, little kernels.
Picture a thing with dots.
Some people call it maize. You just look at that, and your brain intuitively knows corn. On our manifest, you look at the picture, and it shows corn. Corn goes with corn. 0 errors. Receiving, 0 errors. Shipping, it's a great system. This is our custom hose assembly area where people send in hoses that look like this. I know, it's a joke. That's what they look like. And then Ray here makes them look tremendously nice, like
not completely finished?
Yeah, not completely finished, but you know, starts like this, looks like that. There's your difference.
You're providing style.
Crafted with care. Well, style and protection, it depends. A lot of off-road guys, you know, they put skid plates over everything, and then they have a lower radiator hose that's exposed, and all it takes is one little sharp rock, and you're stuck in the desert, right? So you want to put stainless is more of a protective there. This is the exciting part, although we don't have any of the cars here because we have 9 cars on Power Tour. So This is all stuff that we're working on or pieces that we're doing. We're going to do some different things like the Mach 1 and the shaker hoods. And just to give you an example of how many different Ys, there's 21 different ones. They're not all right here. But the angle this way and the angle this way varies, and there's different combinations just so you get the right one. This is a customer car that loaned us his car so we could, play with it. So this is an intake system for 67, 68 Camaros, and we test fit a whole bunch of stuff. We've got our front wing, a front spoiler on this car. What are we doing here? Nothing yet. I don't know, but I think we're modeling a rear spoiler on this one. But you can see there's our rear spoiler on that car.
Yeah.
And this is parts and equipment, and we have cars up top. We have our 510, and the Cougar was up here, but we brought it down.
That Dodge Swinger up there?
That's a Dart Swinger, yeah. Anyway, so you can see like we're doing door panels. There's the door panel, and here's what we start with. There's your pattern, which is, this is like cardboard with vinyl, and then we make them out of aluminum. And this is how wings start. We start off with cardboard to mock up a wing, right? So we start with the cardboard, and then when we got all that set up, then we draw it up, put it on a solid CAD file, and then cut it out on our plasma cutter. And then we fold the sheet metal here with our tools here, and then we test fit it over here like this.
Samurai
but you can see
thing?
it goes from cardboard to sheet metal, and then we verify, then we make little tweaks and changes, and then we go to production. The production parts we have stacked up over there and over there.
What do we got here? Dyno? Rollers?
Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, and these are all our setup parts. This is a new style wing that we're going to do that's more for autocross. So it's a straight up wing as opposed to a high speed wing like the flat ones. So that's a different kind of wing that we're doing. See, nobody knows this. This is a secret.
Jeff,
this is secret stuff.
Nobody will
cut
see
this.
this. Nobody will see this. And this is our dyno. And it's a Mustang 1250, I think, or I don't know what it was. But what's cool about this dyno is, and we're going to start doing this, it'll take up to 240 miles an hour. Okay, so we've had it at 240. We put a Viper on here, unrestricted, and just wound it out. And what's neat is we want to host like events here.
Who can run it?
Where we do top speed dyno shootouts.
Yeah.
So you can have cord showing through your front tires, and we don't care because we're going to strap your car down and put you in it, and then plug in the software into the computer that figures out the air resistance for that car. They have like thousands of cars in their database. So you bring in whatever car you've got, bring in your Mustang, we'll strap it down, load it up, go through the gears, fast as you can.
I say we do it. As soon as we can get it started.
I know exactly what it'll do top speed. It'll flip over and be upside down.
But not here. We've got
that's right.
Down. That's right. See, you can do this in the safety of your own.
And we throw salt on the car, and dirt, dry dirt and salt to get the experience, right? We have the Ripper here, except it seems to have a starter problem, and so whether or not we go to the 341 challenge, it's still up in the air. A lot of tension here. Me and Matt are going to wrench on this thing, probably just push a button and it'll start, or put the jump battery on it, see if that helps. But tell us a little bit about the 341 challenge. It's in Nevada.
Yep.
It's on a road, and that's it for me on information.
So in Europe, they have the Nürburgring, right? They have that in Germany. So if you live in Europe, you could drive to the Nürburgring,
put a token in,
pay $25, go run your car. Here in the United States, we have billions of dollars being spent by Ford and GM and Chrysler on engineering cars that are as good as they could be. And yet, what do? After all the metrics
they
have
don't
done
start.
In billions of dollars. No, they didn't. You did this one.
Oh,
their cars start. They take them to Germany and run them on the Nürburgring because it tells them how good the car really is. Because you could build a car that does 0 to 60. You could build a car that's going to go faster on any racetrack. But to build a car that responds to you, that makes you feel comfortable, the only way to do that is to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation. At the 341 challenge,
it's uncomfortable.
It's a windy mountain road. It's paved. It's fast. There are no guardrails. There are steep drop-offs. They go a long way. How long do they go? Longer than most tow truck cables can reach. They have to add on extra cable. Okay, the paramedics have to rappel down. It's a long way down. So you don't want to go off. So when you go into a turn, you won't go off. I'm going to make sure you don't go off. Most people don't go off.
Car's got to run before we get into trouble, right?
Right now, he's safe because it hasn't started.
Car's telling me something. I don't know.
But the thing about it is, it's exactly right. The cars talk to you, and how well you communicate with the car tells you how good the car is. Because it could be a car that pulls 0.98 whatever on a skid pad, but if you get it up there and it feels really twitchy, and you get scared, and you don't want to go because none of us want to die. I mean, that's the basic rule of thumb here. That's what it's all premised on that.
Survive the run.
Survive the run.
Yeah.
So you're not going to take a turn. But if the car feels really good and really comfortable and communicates well, you're going to feel confident and you're going to take the turn, right, at a certain speed. And that's what this tells you. Racetrack can't tell you that. Metrics on a computer model can't tell you that. A skid pad can't tell you that. The only way to do that is to go to a real road. And the neat thing about that real road is it's organic. It's suited for the mountain. It's not some racetrack guy came out and designed it and said, let's go here, and then we'll make a sweeper turn, and then we'll come here and come around, and then the paddock's over here. It's the mountain. They cut the road to fit the mountain. And the camber is one way this way, and then another way the other turn, and the elevation changes, and you go from weight in the back, weight in the front. It's really, really cool. And once you do 2 or 3 laps, you're going to be hooked. You're not going to worry about the sides or anything. You're just going to drive your car.
Once you watch 2 or 3 laps, Matt, it will be something we'll plan on for next year.
Most of the injuries occur right here in the cheek muscles because you're smiling so much, and you start to strain them. The way it works is this. You start at the bottom, you get the flag, you go. You're going to go about 50 or 75 feet, and then the timing beam triggers. And then from that point on, you're timed all the way to the top. 5.2 miles, about 22 turns. Different elevations, they're all different. A lot of them are blind, but we have it closed off, so nobody's coming down the road.
It's cool that you're setting up cones for everybody ahead, apex cones for...
We don't do that. There's no apex cones. They're snow markers, and they're thick metal, and they will just destroy a car when you hit them. So you don't want to hit the snow marker.
We got that going for us.
You don't want to hit the rock on one side. You don't want to go over to the other side. Yeah. There's no runoff areas. There's no hay bales. There's no berms. There's nothing like that. It's a real road, and you go as fast as you are comfortable to go, and that's the fun part. That's where and then you get to the top. You go by the sheriff's station.
They hand you a beer.
You wave to the sheriff.
The sheriff
I wouldn't.
Not to get back to the bottom.
Well, it's Nevada. Let's think here. Prostitution is legal. Machine guns are legal.
Maybe
light beer.
Maybe
light beer. I don't know, but I wouldn't recommend that. But literally, you get to the top. There's a stop sign. You put on your blinker, you take off your helmet, you get a drink of water, hopefully you have that water with you, and then you merge into traffic and you come down the other highway to the bottom where you can start again.
I understand you have the record on
That's why it's a challenge. So I own the overall world record.
And what did you do it
in 2002, Ferrari F40.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
I was told you were going to bring the F40 out.
Yeah, the auto parts industry is working well for you, is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know what? Not really.
There's
kids.
I'm not sure. Kids have bad shoes and no braces.
I've always put money into cars. I've never, and to this day, I do not have a savings account. Some people have a savings account. They put their money in savings. I don't own stocks or bonds.
Health insurance?
I have health insurance.
All right, so you're ahead of the game.
But I'm healthy, so there's a waste.
Well.
But I've never done that. If we made money, I bought cars and car parts and played with cars. If we didn't make money,
didn't buy
them. We've got, you could drive the wagon. Do you know how to stick shift?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. We've got that. We've got a Mustang GT500.
Wow.
A Shelby.
There you go.
That's good, and that's modified, and they both have our air intakes on them, and they're pretty cool. We have our 05 GTO that's modified.
I've seen that car.
We like that one. It's got big flares on it. Anyway, there's going to be plenty of stuff for you to choose from.
Are you going to be bringing the El Camino? I'm just curious to see how that runs.
We're bringing the El Camino, but on Power Tour on the last day, we cracked a radiator, and so it was the last 50 miles. We were pouring the that aluminum
KW stop leak.
Stop leak.
Did you run the El Camino last year?
Yeah.
I was curious to see how that runs because you have the motor set back like 4 feet, kind of pushed back pretty far. But the tires are big.
We need more tire in the back.
Still, those are huge.
Yeah, but I need more tire in the back.
There's no weight in the back.
Cement.
There's no weight in the back. It's just
90-pound bag of cement in there. Or me and Matt stand in the back while you run the race.
We'll sit in the back.
We want to see this on the hill.
I
you want that on the hill.
Look, either...
We're going to get it started.
I didn't load this thing on the trailer to drive it back home. Let's say that.
I hear that.
Amir, throw out the website so people can find your products.
For our products?
Yes.
SpectrePerformance.com.
And the 341 Challenge has a website as well.
I think it's Spectre341Challenge.com.
Let's push the button and see what happens.
All right.
Again, maybe.
This is fun. I think it's going to start. I don't know. And people viewing this are going to say they set this up.
Well, I got the battery in the back. I think our battery's coming.
Let me...
I think it'll have Justin. You don't think so? Let's see. Here we go. It's been sitting in the sun. It knows...
Oh.
Looks good on the trailer.
It does.
Looks fast.
It does. Coil? Could it be a dead coil?
Yeah. The funny thing, I just bought one. I go, this coil's been in a long time.
You want me to see if we have a coil?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Why don't we do this stupid test? the spark plug in here and see if it's at least doing something. Yeah, either that or I'll come back tomorrow. You open at 6, so...
See why we don't deal with retail?
Looks like either ignition coil's bad,
all right,
crank, or the pickup on the distributor's bad, or the ignition box is bad. One or all of the above. I have all those parts at home, of course, and we'll come back tomorrow and pop something on and see what we can do. What we're going to do now, we're going to use manual labor to push it off and push it in the warehouse so I can come back tomorrow at 6 a.m., fix the thing, and get it started, hopefully, and then see if we can attend this race. Otherwise, me and Matt will be spectators hanging out, which wouldn't be any fun. Well, we're back here at the shop, and to my disappointment, we had some problems with the Ripper, which is unusual because it's usually pretty good. Dropped the car off at Spectre, and as you've seen, we couldn't get it started. Went back with the parts the next day, and as we went back to check in on replacing the ignition coil, which was the suspect part, I figured I better start it up and make sure that it still does not start so I can verify that that's in fact the part that is bad. In doing so, had a little bit of an odd sound when I turned the motor over, and then the motor froze up. And I go, I know that sound. It's happened before. Immediately pulled all the plugs out, and then bang, quart of water poured out of cylinder number 8. I go, cracked head in the intake port again, and that's where it was welded a while ago. The nice guys at Spectre Performance, specifically Amir, who is the head honcho over there, said, hey dude, we got 6 to 8 cars up there. We got Camaros, the Maverick, which is something that I'm kind of interested in, which is a Ford Maverick with a Toyota 2JZ turbocharged motor in it, which is kind of odd in itself, which suits me, to Mustangs, and he's got a fleet that of road cars that he's running with his group, and he said just jump in and take one. So me and Motorator Matt are going to jump in and still do the racing, which is one thing that's scary enough as it is. It gets even worse because we're not driving our cars that we know how to drive. So it should make for a really, really exciting weekend of racing and good times, and we'll get as much video as we possibly can, hopefully some good in-car shots, which I know you guys like, and that's about all I know. We're going to get busy with packing and hit the highway.